Right, we are doing a stream test. This is on full HD on XSplit Gamecaster. We tried it earlier today. I thought it wasn't working, and I thought it'd be bad at night time when it was maybe a busier traffic in the net, but I'm looking at the stream at the moment and it looks okay. We're in Virtual Pool 4. We've got a small straight pool tournament going on, double elimination. There's a match on at the moment. We're going to go in and we see that it's a race to 50 and Wanwa is on a run of 22. Magic 1 is on 12. One was in a total of 29. Now let's just have a look and see where these guys are from. One was from Italy, Magic 1 from the States. Stream quality looks okay for the time being. So this is straight pull. Basically pot as many balls as you can, but there's a bit more to it than that. You've got to pick out where your break ball is and work your way around that. So Magic 1's at the table. A bit of a deficit he's got to get back. Now if there's anybody watching the stream, let me know if there's any problems with it. Remember, you can click the little cog at the bottom right hand corner of the stream and adjust the quality. It should be 1080. Now Magic 1's got a few problems here. There's 3-4 sets of balls all tied up with one another, so he's missed a 4, and so these balls have to be split. And one was got an angle off this 4 ball to run around the table and try and get that cue ball into some of these balls if he lets it run. And that's what he's tried. Well, I think that 10 ball might be set to the corner pocket here. If you look at the 10 ball behind the 15, I think that's the one he's going to call. It looks fairly set to the corner. It might be going a bit to the jaw. That's perfect. So, just 19 balls needed to win this match. So he's got at least another 2, the 15 and the 1, but again he needs an angle to try and disturb something, and he can do that off the 1 ball. He can get that cue ball to spin into the, hopefully not the 6 ball. He's trying to hit the 2 and the 13. Well, he's hit the 6. Well, he's nudged the 13 out, I think. Well, he'll take that. I think he's too straight to actually draw into those 2 balls, but if you look at the 2 is set as well, so he can just draw back and play the 6-2 combo. Yeah, I noticed you forfeited your first match, Tommy. I thought you'd forgotten you were in a tournament. So, one has 36 on the board. Now that, I can't remember what number that ball is. Is it the 12? Yes, it's the 12. That would be a good break ball if we can actually get on it off this 6 ball. Let's see. Well, that's not bad. I think he can certainly catch the pack. Might just be able to catch the edge of the pack. Difficult to read looking at the angle he's got there, but I think he can certainly hit the pack. Doesn't need to hit it hard, he just needs to get something out. Ah, right, I see. So you think the stream quality looks okay, you got it switched to 1080p. Oh, one was scratched on the 12, and Magic 1 has a chance here if he can get the split. Well, he's just nudged the edge of the pack. He's brought the 7 out, and the 6 ball has a pocket, but can he get on it? Well, he's trying to nudge him more, and now he's in trouble. He's going to have to play a 5-6 combo if he wants to keep the run going, I think. Or he's going to have to play a 1-2-3-4 ball combo. Well, this is a bit ambitious. Well, if you look at that 8 going on to the 3 and the 10 pushing on to the 13, that looks a fair chance it could go in. But that's the sellout. You go for shots like that, far too risky. You're just leaving your opponent an easy start. Really, the idea with straight pull is to manoeuvre your way around the balls to pot them, rather than having to run into balls. You obviously have to take care of balls that are locked up together, but there's a time to actually do that, and you're far better getting points on the board rather than taking risky shots, unless it's guaranteed you're going to get the split. Because the important thing as well is remembering to try and leave yourself a good break ball, the last ball that's going to allow you to actually get into the pack and burst it open to keep your run going. That's the objective in straight pull. It looks easy, the fact that you're just potting balls, you don't have to pot them in any particular order, but that's the simple part of it. It's a lot more difficult than it actually looks. The thought process is there, you have to have it clear in your mind, the path that you're going to take. So while one was on this 14 ball, he should already be sure about what ball he's playing for, the 11. Because there's the 2 and the 15 are tied up as well. Well, can he pot that 4? I think that's a bit iffy. That 1 ball, oh, sorry, not the 1 ball, is it the 1 ball? Yes, it is the 1 ball, it looks in the way. I don't know why he didn't play for the 11. But he just played off the edge to keep it tight. He's got a 22-point lead. What you don't want to do is give the trailing opponent an easy start. Make him work for it, because he's now under pressure to keep these safe. Well, that's good. I'll keep it on 1080 until I've always broadcast in 720, because pretty much all the streams I've ever watched have all been broadcast in 720 resolution rather than 1080. I think Magic 1's been called away from the keyboard. There's nothing happening here. Oh, here we go. Now he's got problems here keeping this tight. anything he nudges is going to knock out, so he's calling a ball. That's a good shot, but he's got nothing else. Now he can catch the edge of that 11 ball and play a safety, but it looks as if he's setting himself up for another combo. So this is being aggressive, but you know, your opponent's only got 8 balls to win the match. To me, this is too risky to be taken on. Well, I think he's looking at the safety now. Well, that's weak. That is very weak. Got it too thick and not enough weight on it. Now, one could be aggressive here and try and stun off that short rail and into the balls to try and open them up. But he's preferring just to take what's there. And I think he can get to the 15 for the middle. I think he can just make it. Good attempt, but it's hung up. So Wanwa has a 22-point lead, just 7 away from winning this match. And now Magic 1 has finished perfect on that 2 ball for the split. Now he hasn't blocked himself off, has he? I think he has. Well, looks as if he's... Well, that was unlucky. It was too narrow a gap to fit that in past the 4. I think there's only about 4 players in this tournament tonight. Yes, there is. And it's double elimination, so Potman's in the second round waiting on the winner of this match. And it's a handicap tournament as well. Yes, it is. So Wanwa on 45. Didn't get good on a break ball, so just a safety. Run down into the long grass. Now, Magic 1 is, well, if I was giving him advice, it would certainly be, you know, take your chances. There's times to be aggressive, but, you know, it's all or nothing when your opponent's only waiting on 4 points to win the match. So he's potted that ball, but how's his position? Because I think that's, well, I think it goes, but I don't know whether he's aiming at it right, is he? Oh yeah, it's going to the jaw. Now if he can get a good angle on that 14 or the 9, he can get into the bunch and get them open. That's a bit better. Let's have a look at what's left here now. These 3 balls here, they don't need to be moved, provided you pick the other balls off around about them. If you pot the 11 and pot that 8, that means that the 11, the 13 and the 4 are then open to that pocket, so you don't need to smash into them. what's he doing here? One into the middle. He'll nudge onto that 14. Well, he can take care of these two balls at this end of the table here. He could take care of the 2 and the 14 right now, but he's refusing it. But now he's in a position to get rid of that 8 ball, and that would then open up. He can actually play for the 13 as well here, that one at the top of the bunch, or the 11, sorry, not the 13, that one there. Well, he's went for a split that he didn't need to. Did not need to go into them, but he's still on a ball. So his run goes to 11, still trailing by 12. Now that 13, is it the 13? That 13 ball is going to come down onto the break spot in a second or two because it's in the triangle. And here's a crucial shot. He's on 36. He needs to pot this 13 and get that cue ball up into the pack. Well, luckily he hasn't got it into the pack. And the 13's run into the pack, so everything's safe. But he's still in it. And one mistake from Wanwa, and we could really have a match on. And this is one thing you should do in straight pool as well. When there's a big pack of balls, you need to get yourself down to the end of the table there and have a good look at anything that's set or anything you can possibly make. And he's had a look, and I think he's, well, I don't know what one he called, but the 13 went in. Did he call the 13? Yes, he did. I presume he did. That was excellent. Now he's really in business here. I mean, these balls are sitting pretty well. Let's have a look at that 8 ball. Nothing needs to be moved there. The 8 ball and the 12 ball are fine. Likewise with the 11 and the 4. Nothing needs to be moved here. You just have to pick them out. This is what straight pool's all about. You don't need to move balls. You need to move the cue ball. You don't need to move the object balls when you don't need to, when they're already sitting there for you. So trailing by 5, Magic 1 at the table, it's at his mercy, and there's enough balls here to win this match, enough out in the open where he doesn't need to do anything but get position. Only 3 behind. I'm looking at the stream, I've had no buffering at all. I'm a lot more pleased than I thought I would be. at this stage in the evening, looking at a 1080p live stream. 45, just one behind. He's hit the replay button by mistake. That's the other thing I keep telling people. Remap your replay button to the backspace button, then you won't accidentally hit it. First thing you should do in VP4. Oh dear, well, maybe that's distracted him there, that, and that's blown his chances. The match was all over there. It was at his mercy, and he's missed a relatively easy 14 ball. Well, that's a pity. He was on a nice little run there, and he's made it easy for one because all these balls are there. Match is tied at 47. So these last 3 remaining balls will take him through, and Magic One must be kicking himself. And that little distraction there, it was only himself to blame. It was him that did it. And that's taking his eye off the ball. Well, it might not be over yet, because he's blocked himself off in the 5. Well, that was a player who wasn't fully thinking about what he was doing. He would never have left the cue ball there had he had his mind on exactly what he was about. And that's going to creep out, is it? Let's have a look. I don't think it's went far enough. Well, it's got to be a good safety. I don't see anything that's set, but he's got to get this safe. Well, he's been handed a lifeline here. That needs to go. And that's pretty good. Using the pack for cover. So Wanwa just needs the 1 ball. Magic One needs the 3 of them, and he was dead and buried there, or at least he should have been. I hope your match is as good as this one, Tommy. Oh, that's a brilliant shot. Oh, unlucky. Well, Wanwa went all out for the victory, and it looks like Magic One is possibly going to scrape through it. In goes the 15. You don't need to call them, they're more than obvious shots that you're playing. So he's on 48. Now, well, he's got a choice. He's got the 9 into the middle, he's got the 12 down the left rail, he's got the 8 ball. Shouldn't be a problem. Well, there was a couple of twists and turns at the end of that match, but Magic One, barring a disaster here, is going to scrape through by 1 point. 50 points to 49. That was a good end to the match. Mistakes here and there, but you know, a little bit of luck, that's what comes in handy. Now let's have a look at this bracket. We'll do the update. Well, Popman is going to play Magic Q, and Tommy U is playing one on the one loss side, and on the one loss side it's a race to 30. And Popman is getting 10 of a start against Magic Q. So we'll go in and see Tommy U, because he's up against a pretty good player here. Now Wanwa obviously won the lag, because when you win the lag in straight pool, the first thing you generally do is put your opponent into break. It's always very difficult to leave the ball safe when you break off in straight pool. Well, you certainly in virtual pool 4 it is. Now Wanwa is getting 9 points in a race to 30, and he's already advanced that on to 10. And Tommy's going to be what is he saying there? Your stream is incorrect, Steve. It's my turn. Who's Steve? You mean it's out of sync? Is that what you mean? Let me just go out the room and we'll see what happens. It's right enough. I'm seeing Magic 1 at the table at the moment. In fact, I've jumped into the wrong bloody room, haven't I? Jesus Christ, man. That's the one I want to go into. Right, where are we? It was out of sync. That's still a bug that's in the game. Well, presumably I'm looking at an accurate stream now. I'm seeing Tommy U on 3 and Wanwa on 9. And Wanwa's the one that's getting the 9 points. I would have sat there and never known that. There was nothing to suggest that it was out of sync. It was weird. Well, those balls in the cluster there, again, I don't think there's anything set. Tommy taking a risk to get a split. He's knocked to 13 out. And the 9 is now available, as well as the 8 and the 12. 9 balls sitting there, the 11 balls available as well. And once again, if you pick these off in the right order, you don't need to move anything. Because I think the 6 ball goes also if you can get on it. Well, if he takes the 11 here, he's certainly going to open them up. But you're always relying on luck to get on a ball. You can easily tie yourself up against something. And this is where you take a risk in straight pool. You're taking risks that you don't really want to. You want to try and pick them off. And that's exactly what I mean. He's stuck himself on the 14 and stuck against the 1. He's got nothing, and that's the problem. Well, he's got the 8 ball or a combo here, but this is something that you wouldn't really need to be taking. Have you picked these off in the right order? And that is an example of the challenge of straight pull. It sounds simple enough to pop balls, but as I say, you have to have a route map in your head of what you're doing. And that's a good shot, a good recovery. Under pressure there. And that 14 ball and the 6 ball, let's have a look. Now, can you see enough of that 14 to pot it? I don't know. He's goal in the bank. Oh, it's gone safe. Unless one wants to take a thin cut in the 14 or try and play a combo. But that 14 ball is a good break ball. It's sitting perfect for a break ball. And it's still in a good position for a break ball, but Tommy Yu's got no choice. If you can get back up to the bottom half of the table here where we're looking, he still might be able to play a break shot off one of these 2 balls. Probably going to have to take the 6 first. Well, he's gone to the rail, but it is a break ball. You're going to have to dig into that cue a bit. Needs to watch he doesn't just scratch the top right hand corner. And that's worked out pretty good. He's got an easy 6-2 combo to get him off and running. Let's go down to this end where the action is. Well, the cluster in the middle of the table will definitely have to be disturbed because there's nothing doing there. But you've got to get on the right ball. Now, the good ball for breaking that cluster is the 14. Even though it's ideally placed to be another break ball, it's one that you can use to break the pack. Now that looks pretty good. I'd be more than happy with that. He's got a nice little angle on the 14. He could play a bit of top on it and just try and nudge something there. And that's worked out very well. So he's now got the split. It's just about taking your time and plotting the route, as I say. Now you could use Couple of balls here is break balls. I mean, even if he finished in the back rail, if he had an angle on that 9 ball, he could use it as a break ball, but he's going to be taking it right now. So he's now reduced his options. Well, it looks like the 13 next, and then the 7. And that ball that's in the triangle, which I think is a 12 ball, let's have a look. No, it's a 10 ball. That 10 ball, unless it gets taken during this run, it's going to end up down here in the break spot at the start of the next rack. So 7 ball. Now you can draw across to the left hand side of the table. You can go that way to play one of those 2 balls. Just a wee bit more juice into it maybe than he wanted, but if he can get, I don't know whether he can hold for that 15 ball off the 10 here. Now let's have a look and see what he's got. I don't think it's a great angle. You can play the big draw, he might be able to catch the pack. No, too much of an angle there. So now all he needs is a tight safety. He's got a, well, he's got a 20-point lead. In fact, wait a minute, I'm forgetting it's a race to 30. He just needs the 1 ball. Well, this is risky. But he's just called a ball, but really that's only because he's forced to when he's in 29. He was playing the safety, and it's a good safety. And that was a nice little run of 17, and he's just on the hill, needing 1 more ball. And it's game over. Tommy, you just roll in. Well, I thought he could see that. Let me have a look at the... Oops. I thought he could see it. Let's see. Yes, you can see the 6. Very close, though. That was the problem there. I thought it was over. Well, this would be a good match to win when you're trailing by 29 points to 9 and your opponent only needs 1 ball for victory. This would be a good one to win. Well, if he pots the 4, the cue ball will be running round towards that 9 and 8 ball on the right hand side of the table. But I think he can see the 11, so he can get a collision here and open something up. Oh dear. Well, it's definitely all over now. It was all or nothing. And Tommy, you just roll in the 11 ball. And he marches onwards on the 1 loss side and wins the match by 30 points to 10. Right, so let's have a look at this Potman match. We'll nip in there. We can see that on the winner's side, of course, it's a race to 50. Player 1, Potman, got a 10 ball start. He's currently at the table and he's leading by 22 points to 8. And I think he's fallen asleep. Maybe he's been caught short, as they say. Oh no, wait a minute, I've just realised Magic 1 got disconnected. That's what it is. I came in just at the time where I missed a message telling me that he had disconnected from the game. Well, the 9 ball looks a good break ball. And straight away Potman's got the chance here to get rid of the 10 ball and the 7. I know, I mean, I don't play a lot of straight pool, but I do like to get rid of these balls at this bottom end of the table, because it means you can concentrate on the important ones up at the top end. And I think he's gone a bit straight in this 7 ball. Well, shot choice. I don't like that. Well, he's finished the short side of the 7, but I'd much prefer to have left that 9 ball there. Well, you've got to get rid of that 7 ball. And the problem now is, taking the 7 ball, he's not guaranteed to get good on one of these 2 balls that's up there. And now he's got a nice angle in the 7. How does he get on the 4 in such a way that he can get into the pack? Well, he's gone into no man's land. He'll have to do some magic with this cue ball if he's going to get anything on that pack. He's got entirely the wrong angle in the 4. Yep, that was asking too much, so just the safety now. Potman's moved on to 30. Just trying to graze the pack. So that's a healthy lead. So what you do now is you keep everything tight with a good lead, and you put pressure on your opponent. Well, that 3 ball goes into the middle. It's probably worth taking a risk because, well, what's he doing here? Did he call the 3 into the corner there? No, wait a minute, he's called the 8 ball. I don't know why that 8 ball's going to the jaw. Oh no, oh, that's a good effort. He went for the bank onto the head of the pack there to pot the 8. But that shows you that Magic 1 is thinking about what he's doing. I couldn't fathom out exactly what he was doing, but managed to work it out in the end. But it's all to no avail because he's just left an easy opportunity for Potman, and that's where shot choice, you've got to you've got to keep it tight when you're really trailing like that, and not just open things up and make it easy for your opponent when he's already got a good lead. You've got to just pick and choose your time to make your move. And that was well, that was like a 1 in 10 shot, that. And all it is well, it's left Potman some freebies to take. Now there's an angle here to move something, but there's also the angle to get back up for the 14. Oh, he's taking the 13, is he? Let's get up there. Oh, that's the 11 ball. Well, now he's got the angle. But he can come back for the 1 ball if he wants, but he's probably going to try and move them. Easy enough to pot the ball and bring the cue ball back to here. But I think he's playing for the split. He's finished on the 1. And he'll be nudging into that 6 ball as well with this shot. Now, he should be... Oh, he's managed to miss it, but even if he'd nudged into them, he had an opportunity to split those. He probably should have, because he would have still finished on the 13 into the middle. So Potman moves on to 38 on a run of 8 and a lead of 30 in a race to 50. And he was trying to cheat a bit of angle there to get a little split. Missed the 13. And those 2 balls are going to open up off this 2 ball. Oh dear. Well, that was a bad one. And again, another freebie for Potman. And there's about a 4 or 5 second delay on the stream now, since I actually changed the settings earlier on today. We've gone to 1080, and I've also I've switched off the DVR function, which is the feature that allows people to track back on what was actually streamed and watch it from earlier in the match, but that's now been switched off. So it gives us a more immediate live stream, and we're streaming at the higher quality, and it's still looking good. Meanwhile, Potman moves on to 42. He's going to have to call the 6 ball if he's playing the combo. No, he's playing it safe. Is he going to get to the rail? It doesn't matter, he'll just lose a point. That's a good shot. Keeps it fairly tight. Potman looks as if he's just trying to roll the 6 up to join that. He's hit it a bit too firm. But he only needs 9 points to win the match. And he's going to get 2 more. Now, can he pot that 12 in past the 6? He'd probably be better taking that 12. Because he could have left a good angle in the 6 to get up and get into the pack. He's got an angle here, it's not a great one. Yep, so just another safety. Yeah, I would have been more inclined to roll the 12 in past the 6, which would have left a better angle off the 6 ball to get into that pack. So another point goes, but more importantly, he's kept everything tight. And that's a foul as well, I think, because I don't think he hit the object ball. Yeah. So Magic 1 goes back to 7 points. And 6 balls crept out. How does that look? It's going to be a thin cut. Well, Potman can see enough of that, and he can now try and get this cue ball into the pack. Be playing this with a bit of power. And that's unlucky. Hit the head of the pack and it's just died. Well, I think it'll just be another deliberate foul, because he should just roll into those 2 balls there. He can't play safe on this left side that we're looking at, because the 3 balls there. Oh dear, the yawning started. Well, one was got a shot to start with, but he looks as if he's lining up for an all or nothing on the 1, and he's got it. And he's going to have to roll through and try and get on that 3 ball. He's got no other choice. Has he got there? I think he's just made it. Problem now though is he's tight in the rail, so he can't get into the cue ball. He's going to have to try and run off the rail. Didn't get enough English on it. And there's nothing set there. Well, that's not a disaster. He scratched, he just lost another point. But he's left it safe. Potman could play the bank on the 5. I don't think he can make the cutting angle on the 5. And that's not a bad shot. There's nothing on. He's going for the 14. Yeah. Brave attempt. Well, let's have a look at this 11 ball. Well, he's got a perfect angle on the 11. He's a bit behind it, but he could certainly open the pack, but he's probably better taking this 5 and keeping it tight at this stage in the game. And he can use the angle off this 14 if he can to try and move something. He still doesn't need to move anything though, because the 11 ball's there. And the 13 goes. Well, decided on the aggressive shot. Now he's behind the 11 again. I don't know whether he can get into that cue ball enough at that type of angle to hit much of the balls here. And that's why he missed the 11. Well, it's an opportunity for Magic 1. Potman sitting on 46. Magic 1 on 9. And really what he's trying to do is just get a bit of respectability in the game. Try and pick off some of that deficit. Let's have a look at this triangle on the table. Well, the 7 ball is the break ball. The 2 balls in the diamond, in the triangle, so he's going to get rid of that now, I would think. But the 7 ball is definitely a good break ball. And he's just nudged into it. He didn't want to do that. It's still okay as a break ball. He's got to just drop at the right angle. He needs to get the cue ball down to about there to play this 7 ball. And he's actually not gone far enough. But there's a way to get into the bunch. If you play this with right hand English, well, he's frozen right onto the pack. But if he'd played it with right hand English, the cue ball would have went that way, round the corner and into the bunch. He's still up and running though. Oh well, he just rushed that one. And I think it's game over. Took no time at all over that shot. So Potman just needs the 4 balls. Well, he's going to have to you're going to have to pick something out here because he's not on anything. Well, he can get the 2 ball surely. Can he? he can roll the 1 in dead weight into the middle, and he can pot the 9 into the middle, but nothing's easy. Well, it isn't over yet. 30-point deficit. That's a problem that needs to be dealt with. These two balls here. And they can't be left an awful lot longer. They've got to be dealt with one way or another. And it's difficult to get on the 4 ball. You can get on the 4 ball that way, and you can get on it that way, shooting in that direction. You can just cut it in there past the 8, but he might actually be able to do that now. And he should have a shot either on the 1 or the 3 or even the 8 ball again after this. Well, he's sitting at distance, but he's still got a shot. But he definitely had to get rid of one of those balls to open up the pocket. And he's run into the pack. How does it look from this end? Well, it's either going to be the 3 or the 14, I think. 14 into that pocket past the 8 ball, or the 3 into the other pocket on the opposite side. The 3 ball is the break ball. It has to be that one. But he's now going to have to take it. So that's reducing his chances of getting into this pack. But he's got another good opportunity. If he pots the 2 and leaves the angle on that 15 ball like there, he's almost there, but he's still got the angle to pot it and smack into the back of those balls and get the split. And how's his luck? Well, he can see the 11, and more than likely he could roll through, but he's possibly going to take the 4 next. Let's see. I think it's odds on he'll take the 4. And, oh, that's lucky. He's still on the 2. And we can get the 8 as well. But now he's getting a bit out of line. He's just trying to do a bit too much there. He's still alright. And he's on 32, a run of 15. Still trailing by 15 points. And Potman, remember, just needs 3 balls. So this is all or nothing again for Magic 1. Oh, he's going to scratch. That's a disaster. Game over. And that's like any pool or billiard game. You don't want to be letting the cue ball run if you don't need to, because there's always that danger it's going to find one of the 6 holes in the table, and he's blew his chances. And Potman just needs the 5 and possibly that 14 ball just above the 5 ball, and that'll be enough to take him through. He might even just take the 10. He doesn't have to do a lot of work. So it's going to be the 10 ball. And it goes, and Potman wins the match by 50 points to 31. But Magic 1, well, if he's had his bad luck, he's had it now. He's going to move over to the 1 loss side. He's still in the tournament. Let's have a look at the bracket. We can see that Potman is in the hot seat. He's in tonight's final. It's an all or nothing final. The winner gets 480 virtual dollars, and we're going to watch Tommy Yu playing Magic 1 in the 1 loss side final to see who plays Potman. So we're in the room, we're ready to lag for the break. And Magic 1 is the player on the left with the house cue, I think. And Magic 1 has won the lag and will put Tommy Yu into break, no doubt. So here we go, race to 30 again on the 1 loss side, and Magic 1 is getting 9 balls to start. So Tommy Yu's going to have to fight against adversity here. He's already trailing by 9. And Magic 1's got a shot in the 5. He's going behind the 6. Is he missing it? Yes, he has. But I don't see an awful lot more coming off this visit, because everything's all tied up. And he's got the 1 into the middle. And that 14 ball is going to the jaw. Well, there's a 3 ball combo there. And he's looking at it, and he's called it. But it's going to the jaw. Oh, he got that all wrong. Goodness knows what he was trying to do, but he's not got away with it. Tommy can see the 3 ball. Possibly a 9-11 combo to follow. Unless he tries to smack the balls, which he has done. So Tommy Yu is off and running. Ball into the left middle, and then the 7 ball to follow, the one behind the 8 ball, I think. Nope, he sees it a different way. but he's now left himself more work to do here. The 4 ball looks a good break ball from the right hand side, but this shot in the 7, he's got to get on the 14, which he has done. And now the angle he's got in the 14, he should have a good position on this 4. You're looking at getting the cue ball down to like here to play the 4, and then the cue ball into the bunch. But he's gone too far. As he's made it a more difficult shot, but he can dig into the cue ball. Now how's his luck? Well, he's got a 7 onto the 3 and not much else, I don't think. He's got absolutely nothing else doing. It's got to be a 7-3 combo. And the match is all square at 12 points all. It was a good shot. He's on the 10. The 1 ball's the one to take right now, and maybe run into the bunch just to hold for maybe the 9. Well, I'd be taking the 1, because the cue ball is going to go up the table. You're going to be in something, and now you've got to deal with this 1 and 8 ball. First opportunity you had there to get rid of that 1 ball that was blocking the 8 to 1 pocket. I mean, you can get on the 8 from the other side, but as I say, it's always best to get rid of the awkward balls as soon as you can. And now he's forced into calling an extremely difficult cut in the 2. That's a good shot. That's a good recovery. And his run goes to 19. Now he's got a chance to get rid of the 8. And also get rid of the 1 if he wants. That little nudge on the 14 has opened it up. What about this 13 and 11? Well, they're just sitting awkward. Now you can pot the 11. That's perfect. That needs to keep going. And he's a bit straight. He's a bit straight. He can try and slam into them. Well, this time he's got a possible 2-5-1 combo. But does he take the risk? And that one ball is certainly going to the jaw. And the other problem is the 5 ball's nudging into the 3, so it's not, there's nothing really set there. I don't like that as a combo. And he doesn't like it either, so looks as if he's trying to play a safe. Or is it did he call the reverse bank into this bottom pocket? Well, the one's, sorry, not the one, the 9 is over the middle pocket. Tommy Yu's run finishes on 26. It was a good run. And Magic 1 is going to have his work cut out here with that big bunch of balls sitting there. And he's managed to get round behind the 13, but once again he's got no angle to get into the bunch. Cue ball's going to be running all the way around the table. Oh, I never noticed the 6 sticking out there. Probably because I'm half asleep. Oh. Five-one combo. Well, that was again a risky shot. Well, that's finished quite ugly here for Tommy, but it's going to be a 7-13 combo. He's 11 ball, sorry. He's going to have to play, and he's also playing it down over that 3 ball, which makes it more difficult. But he's done it, and he's got a shot in the 5 or the 4. Well, there's a mistake. Chance for Magic 1 to get some of these points back. And desperately trying to open things up, but I think he's got himself in more trouble. He's got nothing easy on here. And you've got the problem with those balls on the right hand side of the table. Well, he's played a good one in the 3. He has a pot on the 8. And he's also got that 1 ball, but they're just at an awkward angle. They're not comfortable shots to be playing. And he's going to scratch. Oh, well, he's running right out of line here and making it more and more difficult for himself. And he's only got 3 points on the board at this visit. a good 2-ball, but like I said, he's still out of line. He's having to work really hard to get single balls here. And another great shot in the 7. And still, he's now got the bank on the 15. And this time, it hasn't worked. All that effort and that run there, and he only got 5. Got out of line in one shot, and then all the rest of them just got progressively worse. And Tommy Yu does the business, gets the 2 balls he needs, and wins the match by 30 points to 21. So we've now got a final, and that's going to be between Popman and Tommy Yu once the bracket updates, which it should do any second. There we go. And so this is an all or nothing match for 480 $V between Popman and Tommy Yu. And my 1080p XSplit Gamecaster test stream is working a treat. No complaints. It's looking pretty damn good. And I'm going to go into the room and get ready. And the final is a race to 65. That's a weird points goal to be aiming at. So we're waiting on Popman joining the room. Now that's provided that Popman hasn't fallen. Oh, here he is. I thought he'd fallen asleep. And Popman is player 1, and he's getting a 29-point lead. 29-point start in a race to 65. And Tommy's really got his work cut out now. Well, Popman wins the lag, and he'll pass that break to Tommy. And that's a good break. That's an excellent break. There's nothing left on. Well, there's a really tough 8-ball, but the cue ball's running right into the bunch, so he's looking to just play a safety. And that's not a bad safety either. That 15 ball goes though. It's tight, but it does go. Good shot. Oh, that's a nice little nudge on the 6 there. That opens up the 3. I think he can play for the 6 next. He's left it a bit short though. But he's going to be moving something. No doubt about that. Well, if he's playing the 11 ball, he's going to be Chinese snookered over the 10 ball, so he's going to get rid of the 10 ball first, I think. And this is a difficult angle to read. And you're so close to a ball. And now he's... Well, can that 14 go? Oh, the 14 doesn't go, so he's forced into the 7-1 combo. It's a good one. And he's finished nice on the 11. The run goes to 9. Still 20 points behind. Don't forget, Potman was given 29 points of a start for his handicap. Well, the mistake's been made. Tommy's run of 12 comes to an end. Now this is a sort of dead weight shot, but the problem is the 7 ball is in the triangle, so the 7 ball's going to come down onto the break spot, as I call it. He's bringing the cue ball down as well, or at least trying to. He's a bit short though. That's going to scratch. Tommy kicks into the back of the pack and locking that cue ball up. Well, there's a 12 ball there, and I think you can see the 4. So that was a bit short by Tommy. There's not a lot left here for Potman as it sits right now. He's got the 13 and the 2, but I don't see very much more coming unless he can get a good angle on the 2, which he has done, because he'll be able to nudge into something here now with this shot. That'll do it. Got a couple out. Still in business. And I think he's got an angle to come up the table off this 13. Difficult to see without going right behind him. Let's have a look. Well, he can stun up the table. He's drawing back. Once again, chosen the aggressive option. And he's got on a ball. Well, I think he was trying to play for the 15 there, and he's just not gone far enough. He's still got the backup ball, the 5 ball. This time he can run into the 9 and the 8, but he's got to get lucky to get on a ball though, and that's taking a risk. And he's got the luck. So Potman, his run moves on to 9 and his score moves on to 39. Well, there's an angle in the 10 ball to nudge that 5 and 7 here. Might need a little bit of left just to get into them. He didn't get enough into it. Didn't get any into it. Let's have a look. Of course, you don't need to split the 7 and the 1 if you get the short side of the 2 of them, because they both go into this pocket, but that's a good shot. Now he's going to have to try and get the bottom side of this 7. Well, he's managed that, but once again he's got no angle to get into the bunch. He needs to play this with a lot of right English, and even then that's a hard push to get anything enough near to nudge something here. It'll be a good shot if he does. Yeah, but that's okay. He's got a run of 15. He'll just keep it tight. Only 20 points needed. Going to have a bit of tactics here until somebody makes a mistake. Tommy's looking at the 4 ball, but it isn't going because it's blocked off by the 15. That one. And easy enough for Potman to go into the long grass at the bottom end of the table here. Bank that 8 ball back across to the bunch. Oh, he's looking at calling a shot. Danger with this shot is it could hit the jaw and smack back into the pack and open them up. With a 45-12 lead, got to not take any risks. Let Tommy do all the work. I don't see anything there. Tommy trying to get distance, but he's left a 10. And if Potman can play this with a bit of left, cut the 10 and get that cue ball into the pack. And he's going to scratch. But having done so, he's left nothing. So that was the best outcome there. He didn't hit the pack, and it's still perfectly safe. Potman just loses a point for the scratch. Well, that's a mistake. 15 balls in the open. Playing this with left-hand English, you try and spin the cue ball into the pack again. And that's worked out nice. He's got a couple to choose from. Can cut the 6, can pot the 14, I think. Well, the way that cue ball ran into the jaw there, he's left himself at distance. But he can actually open some more up here off the 14. And now he's in business. Chance to reduce the deficit here. A lot of balls to choose from. Oh dear. Well, that's a bad one. Stunning the cue ball to get on the 2, and he's missed and left Potman a little birthday present. And Tommy's got to be thinking these are all his balls. that Potman's potting. That's finished awkward. Nasty little cut on this one. I think that's his only choice. Well, if we can get that 12 ball, that takes care of that issue. He should be on the 10 after it, but he doesn't fancy it. But he's in a good position there to get rid of it. Oh, he's going to block himself, is he? Oh, he's still on it. And he's left it short. Surely just a safety. Well, I think he's overdone it. Left Tommy a shot in the 9, but it's not a good angle in the 9. Playing a lot of right English, and he's played it well. And he's got a few of them. A few balls there. So Tommy Yu sitting on 18 points, Potman on 52 in this race to 65. Straight pool double elimination. And this is just my first 1080 XSplit Gamecaster stream test that we're doing, really, and it's going quite nice. Thank you very much. Now, what's happened here? Well, he's got a shot in the 5. Can you draw into something? Try and manoeuvre things out the way. And he's okay. But there's a bit of an ugly mess there at the top end of the table. And that cue ball needs to keep running so he can get on the 11. And he's managed that. What's he got? That one ball along the rail. Oh, he's nudged it away. And that's another one that's gone at the wrong time. And a nice little, looks like a nice little run was going to start there for Tommy. But just got out of line, left an awkward one that was tight in the rail and didn't get the connection. And so Potman has got some more free points here just to take him closer to the 65 that he needs. And he's going to have to deal with the 7 and the 8 ball. Well, let's have a look at that 7 and 8 ball from that side. Well, it's not a combo. And he's now out of line himself. He's got an awkward cut into the middle on that 10 ball if he plays over the 3, but he looks as if he's going for the 15. Well, it's going to have to be the 3. Now, if he gets this right, excuse me, he's looking at the 2, but if he got it right this way and brought the cue ball that way, he could pot the 2 and run the cue ball into that couple of balls. That'd be one way of doing it. I don't know what he's trying this way. Well, he's going to nudge it, and that is excellent. So there's different ways of getting there, and he played a nice one. And now he's okay. Now, can he get something on this ball, an angle of some description to get into the pack? He doesn't want to leave himself straight on this 7, and he's pretty much straight. Well, this is where you just take your medicine and run. Pot the 7 and then head away down the table. Just got to feather that one ball. So, Potman moves on to 60. Just 5 points away. I think he's got a shot to nothing here in this 8 ball into the left middle. Won't do any damage, I think. He doesn't fancy it. Content to keep it tight. I don't see anything happening in the pack there. Is that covered? Yes, it is. Well, that works. A bit of cat and mouse going on here. Potman looks as if he's kicking at the 8 ball off the side rail. And that was not a bad effort. He's left it on though, but Tommy's got the wrong angle again, and the cue balls. Well, goodness knows what Tommy tried there. But the only sort of good outcome is that 8 ball didn't bring a lot more balls out, but it's brought enough to get Potman running again. He's now left an angle on the 4, and he can get that cue ball into the bunch. Oh, he's on the 1. And he'll be bringing more out, and he's sitting in 62. He just needs 3 more balls. Oh, he's made the mistake. But what's he left, Tommy Yu? And the answer to that is not a lot. He's looking at possibly the 3-6 combo, I think. But that's nowhere near set. Well, Tommy called the 8 ball there. I think he was hoping a fair outcome, but those things happened. He's opened it up, and Potman should have no problem in finishing this match off. Just a couple of more balls, 2 ball along the rail if he wants, then the 9 ball, or, well, a choice of balls. He's not going to have to work hard to get this. And he'll probably take the 3 ball, seeing as he's nudged it out. Just roll it into the middle, this for the match, and this for the tournament. Well, Potman had a 29-point start, and he's made the most of it. And he's won the match and the final and the money by 65 points to 24. So, with that, we will say thank you very much for anybody who's still watching or was watching. And that will conclude our 1080 XSplit Gamecaster test stream for tonight. So good night, and we will see you again sometime.